dad is someone who, like I said, organically, authentically has a way of making people believe in themselves.
This is Jonathan Agger of Fifth Pro Boxing Fans, joined by heavyweight George Fox. George, it seems to be I only see you at big fights, but this is a big one this weekend. Joshua Dubois. How's things, first of all? How have you been doing?
Yeah, I'm well, man. I only show up for the big ones, man. I'm at home otherwise watching Arsenal with the family, with the kids. But yeah, the big ones, I'm here. You always see me at the big ones, man.
Yeah, so George, let's first get one thing out of the way. I'm sure everyone will want to know. Obviously, your dad hasn't been present this week. Spence Oliver came out and said that he's been ill. Other people have said different things about his relationship with Daniel's father. What can you tell us, and how is your father?
You know what it is in life, like you always, I think, especially nowadays with people trying to make news and circulate content, you're always going to get this kind of stuff. I'm very much a principled man, an outspoken man, someone who would tell you happily, the true story. There's been absolutely nothing, no problems. I don't know where that's come from, to be honest with you. My dad's just sick. He stayed away from Daniel purely out of being selfless, and to be fair, as he should, as a precaution, not to pass on any sickness, cold, virus, which could then impact Daniel's performance on Saturday night. And being such a massive event, it'd be foolish to jeopardise that.
So, your dad obviously going to be there on fight night. How has he taken sort of some of the rumours? Is he all right? Is he focused on everything?
You know what? There's a bigger picture. He was actually a little bit upset this morning because he just said people are spreading some wicked news and things. And I mean, I don't think there's much in it, to be fair. He's going to be there on the weekends. People's opinions. I said to him, I don't really see what the issue is. Whether people think he has or hasn't, it's irrelevant. Like, our job is our job. We're going to be there on Saturday night. They've done the work. They've trained diligently. They've trained consistently. They know the task at hand, and that's all there is to say, really. Yeah.
On the task at hand, talk to me. I know you sparred a lot of the top guys, Dubois included, probably AJ. What do you think of the fight, and where's it won and lost in your opinion?
Look, boxing can be won and lost in so many ways, as you know. If I'm talking from our perspective, Daniel, he's going to be unpredictable, and what I mean by that, just on entries and exits, smart with his hand positioning, respecting AJ's strengths. We know his sort of default patterns. I also know how Ben Davison trains as a coach. This is me speaking. This is not my father. This is not Daniel. Whether they take on this, I'm just saying as me, as if I was in this show, this event. They train for set patterns. I know the drills that they do. I know AJ's, go-to sort of moves, whether it's in close range, mid-range, long range, and so forth. The fight can be won and lost in many areas, but the main thing is being focused. Daniel, like I said, with his left-hand placement, monitoring or reducing the amount of right hands he takes, and you do that by being unpredictable of when you're going to enter, unpredictable of when you're going to jab, and when you start creating that doubt and uncertainty, especially when it's coupled with the punching power that Daniel has in both hands, then you start to reap success, or at least lay the foundation for something special.
A lot of the narrative this week has been about, Dubois taking too many shots in the Filip Hrgović fight, and if that was to happen again, that Joshua would put him to sleep quite early. What do you make of that, and is that something you feel, is relevant heading into Saturday?
100%. You have to, as fighters, as an athlete in any sport, you have to be aware of your opponent's strengths, and you have to make plans, to nullify those. And 100%, he wouldn't be able to maybe be as gung-ho or be as reckless or dismissive of Hrgovic's right hands the same way AJ. Even though Hrgović can crack, it's not like he's not a puncher, he's a known puncher, but AJ's a little bit more surgical, precise, and a bit more devastating. Natural athlete who's conditioned and he's built his body for destruction, straight speaking, so you have to be conscious of that. And in turn, Daniel has to respect that and do the things necessary to avoid such a high quantity of right hands, and we believe he's done the things necessary to do that, and now it's just about the execution on fight night, making sure you can do that in front of 96,000 people, under pressure, under the lights, when it all matters.
You sparred both, right? So
AJ loosely, I was a kid. I'm not going to really talk about sparring AJ. I didn't really spar my age. It was technical work when I was a kid, but a lot of the other heavyweights for sure. Yeah.
On Dubois, like I've spoken to a lot of people that have sparred him, and everyone says, like this is a running theme, that his jab is like a right hand. Would you agree?
Strong guy. And I'm not saying it's an arrogant way. I can get hit with a lot of shots. I don't get hit with too many jabs. I've got quite a good jab defense, so I can't validate that. But all I can say is he can punch, because I've been cracked with a left hook of his, and he can really bang, really bang. Left hand, right hand, whatever shot. But yeah, I've heard the same as well, many people. But yeah, his ramrod jab. I've seen people's heads going flying back in sparring. I've seen him drop people with jabs. So yeah, for sure, he carries true knockout power in both hands. Any shot as well, by the way. Yeah. Right uppercut, left hook, right hook, jab, straight right. Yeah.
Have you got a prediction for Saturday night? Thoughts on how it goes?
Listen, I don't do predictions too much, and people say that when you say that, people assume that you're not confident, whatever else, and it's less to do with confidence. It's just more to do with control. I have no control over it. You see, there's too many variables, and I think when the closer you are to sport, you start to realize how many variables are at play, and it's not in your control. It's in Daniel's control, it's in AJ's control, and how those two styles gel together. So we will see on the night. I know Daniel has the capacity to knock AJ out, and I know vice versa as well. So it's just about who executes the game plan correctly. Naturally, being in Daniel's camp, we hope he's going to do everything in his power to be victorious. He's done that in camp, and hopefully on night it comes to fruition.
So lastly, Daniel's had a lot of success with your dad, the Hrgovic fight, the Miller fight, and Daniel seems to have come out of his shell a lot with your dad by his side. What is it about your dad that brings out the best in Dubois, and not just in the ring but outside of the ring? Because it's noticeable that his confidence, press conferences, interviews, and it must be that it's something to do with how your dad coaches or is as a person. Would you agree?
I think 100%. I think also credit to Daniel. Naturally, people forget Daniel's 26 years of age. Like, that's a young man, young man. I wouldn't say a kid, I wouldn't patronize him like that, but that's a young man. And you do start to come into your own anyway as a man. But my dad, for sure, he's someone who, there's a link with all his fighters. He's known as a bit of a therapist almost. He's someone who's he instills massive confidence in people, true confidence, belief. Daniel was accused of quitting, and and now he's come through his fights where he's taken multiple shots. Hrgovic is a no-knockout artist, soaking up right hands and just walking through them, and that comes from here. Obviously there's physiological elements, factors in play as well, but a lot of it comes from here. And my dad is someone who, like I said, organically, authentically has a way of making people believe in themselves, and it's done through training. Training is a massive part. It's done through speech, and sometimes sometimes these things are energetic. They can't. It's not tangible. It's not always captured by spoken word. It's just a feeling that someone gets. And my dad is a senior citizen, a big man himself as well, and I think people resonate with that. And definitely, there's a connection there for sure.
And yeah, just how proud are you of your dad? Leading out someone in front of 96,000 for the heavyweight world championship, and he's back on top. Where he was many years ago as well. Listen,
I'm incredibly proud of my dad. I love my dad to bits. He brought me onto this planet, and he's a man I hold in the highest esteem. Super proud of him, and will always be proud of him. What I would like to add, even though this is a remarkable event, and I've always said this, and I've said this in previous interviews as well, to me, not irrelevant, but whether my dad, was walking someone out in front of 100,000 people at Wembley, whether my father was a bin man who showed up every day to his job, it's just a job. At the end of the day, we're all equals, we're all humans, and my dad's principles, how he conducts himself as a man, is what I'm more interested in than whatever his job is or what he does. And that goes out to everyone. Whatever you do, is if you're there providing for your family, being selfless, being loving, being caring, being a source of wisdom. That's the key, man. That's the key.
Brilliant. Well, George, appreciate your time. See you at the fight, after the fight, and hopefully in the ring very soon.
Take it easy. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your time.